Hey guys, what's up? We are back here with another video today, and today we are doing my Packers mock draft. So as always, if you enjoy this video, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, like this video if you enjoy it, comment all your thoughts and opinions down below as always, and make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button because I am trying to get to my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the month of January, and I am only about 40 subscribers away, so please help me hit that goal by hitting that subscribe button down below. We're closing in on it, so help me hit that goal. Make sure you go ahead and check out the website. This will be up in written form on the website, the Green Bay Packers mock draft. And if you want more mock drafts, make sure that you're subscribed. We'll have a bunch of mock drafts out for you all throughout January. We will have another one out next week. Maybe we'll have 2 videos, but we'll have at least one, I can promise you that. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So, with their first round pick, let me preface this. The Green Bay Packers at the moment are the highest rated team in the NFL. That means that they are the number 32 pick. Maybe, I don't think that they'll win the Super Bowl personally, but if right now they're the 32nd pick according to mock drafts, so 32nd pick. With the 32nd pick, I have them drafting Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. So the reason why I drafted Lloyd here is because I think Lloyd fits exactly what Green Bay needs, which is a linebacker that can move. I think there wasn't any big-time wide receivers or anybody available. The other picks that were available were Denard Kennard, offensive tackle out of Kentucky, my bad. Daxton Hill, safety out of Michigan. Nicholas Pete-Freya, offensive tackle out of Ohio State. And Kingsley Ingerbear, edge out of South Carolina. And Jermaine Johnson, edge out of Florida State. So there weren't really any other options that I liked at positions of need, particularly wide receiver or offensive line depth, or I just didn't see anybody that I particularly liked. And Devin Lloyd, I believe, is a top 20 player. So I think you got an immense amount of value there in order to be able to get that there. So I really like this Devin Lloyd pick. And I think that this next pick will really shine through in how good this Packers defense could be with a few more additions. With the 64th pick in the second round, I had the Packers selecting Darion Kendrick, cornerback out of Georgia, formerly from Clemson. I think Kendrick does come with some baggage with personnel problems, and he obviously had some problems at Clemson, and that's the reason why he isn't there anymore, because it wasn't due to his playing or stuff like that. He's a really good corner. He was an all-ACC corner, I think an all-SEC the one year he was there. But the thing that I have with Kendrick is he's a dynamic playmaker in the secondary and can replace a guy like Kevin King, which I think is kind of important for a Packers team that really lacks a second cornerback to Jair Alexander. So I think Kendrick fills that void, and you can plug him in, even if you need to plug him in at nickel, give him a little bit of time to play before he heads it to the slot or to the CB2 position. With the 96th pick, I have the Packers drafting a true tight end and not just a guy that Aaron Rodgers makes look good, and Charlie Kohler, the tight end out of Iowa State. Charlie Kohler is a dynamic tight end, and to be honest, I was surprised to see him in the third round, and I'm like, yes, that's a perfect pick, even though I'm a Bears fan. I do think that Charlie Kohler is a great pickup. I think Charlie Kohler would fill the need of the lack of tight end depth that the Green Bay Packers have, and it would add a massive wide receiver option, as not only is he good blocking tight end, but he's also an amazing wide receiver. So I think that would be a good addition there and good depth compared to the already weak tight end class that you have if you're the Packers. With the 134th pick in the 4th round, I selected Mike Rose, linebacker out of Iowa State. So you have a couple of Iowa State guys here. Mike Rose, solid player, overall just a solid overall person and player, like just a solid linebacker. And again, he's more of an inside linebacker, just like Devin Lloyd. Be honest, I wasn't sure who to draft for this position. Let's see if I have. No. So there just weren't that many other players available that I really liked, and I think that Mike Rose really fills a need there for the Packers, like I did with that first pick. So I think that it is a hole and a need in which it needed to be filled. So with the 136th pick, also in the 4th round, I selected Braxton Jones, offensive tackle out of Southern Utah. This is just an interesting guy, and with all the injuries at the offensive line for the Packers, you can never use enough offensive line depth. So the reason why I selected Braxton Jones is I'll be honest, I have not watched any of his tape or any of his games or anything. I just read some scouting reports about him and know a little bit about him, enough to know that he has a lot of potential and could play multiple positions. I think that Braxton Jones is just one of those guys that you take a project in the 4th round and see if it works out, and I think that there's just a very little risk and a lot of reward there. Heading on to pick 173, I have him drafting Jarion Ely, Jarion Ely, running back out of Ole Miss. Reason why I had him drafting here a running back, and obviously I understand they have Aaron Jones and Kylan Hill and A.J. Dillon. I understand you have 3 running backs and you just drafted one last year and you drafted one the year before that. But again, I point back to you just drafted 2 straight running backs, so why not draft another? This seems to be something that's working for the Packers, and you could possibly get rid of Aaron Jones in the next couple of years and maybe say, hey, we don't need him. Why do we need to add money to that position? That's something the Bears have done constantly over the past couple of years. But basically, the main reason why I drafted him was he had a lot of potential coming into this year and then kind of really fell off. He was a potential 1st or 2nd round draft pick and a probable top draft pick just behind Breece Hall, both of them having disappointing seasons, but I think Ely can be a solid contributor in the secondary and can be a good guy overall. So, with the 225th pick, cannot talk English today, I have the Packers selecting Beau Melton, wide receiver out of Rutgers. I'm going to be honest, the only Rutgers game I watched all year was when they played Wake Forest. But this Beau Melton guy really jumped off the page, or really jumped off the TV screen, I guess is the best way to put that. I think that Beau Melton is a guy that can be a solid contributor, and I kind of needed to draft a wide receiver, so he was the best available. So with one of their 3 7th-round draft picks, I drafted Beau Melton out of Rutgers. With the second out of their 7th-round draft picks, I drafted Xavier Thomas, the edge out of Clemson. I don't want to trash him at all, but I think the biggest thing with Xavier Thomas is that he hasn't ever fully lived up to the potential of his star rating or anything like that at Clemson, and there's been players that have passed him over multiple times. So I think with Xavier Thomas here, again, you're looking at a project player, somebody in the 7th round you're taking a flyer on, and there's no risk and a lot of reward. I think that the Packers lack a lot of edge rushers, and the linebacker position's pretty weak. So I think Xavier Thomas would be a good addition. The only problem is he's a lot better in a 4-3 scheme rather than a 3-4. And if you don't know what I mean by that, a 4-3 is 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and if you 3 and a 3-4 scheme, it is 3 down linemen with 4 linebackers. And generally, you have still 4 guys on the line or 5 guys on the line in a 3-4 scheme. It's just they're standing up and not having their hand in the ground. And then with the final pick, the 255th pick in the draft, I have the Packers selecting Grant Morgan, linebacker out of Arkansas. So the reason why I think Grant Morgan is a great selection here is he's just a solid player, a really solid player out of Arkansas. And I watched the Arkansas linebackers go all around the field and have pretty decent speed, good tackling ability, and good intelligence. And that's just not something that the Packers really had this year. And I think it's something that this is even though it's a 7th round draft pick and somebody that you wouldn't really expect to be a big time contributor, I think that he can be a big time contributor, and that's something that I really think is going to be important. So that pretty much wraps it up. Good for me to keep it at 10 minutes, but as always, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the 2 videos right here, hit the subscribe button up here, and as always, make sure that you stick around for next time, and I will see you guys later. Bye.